To solve inequalities, you treat them just like equations. Remember, to solve equations, whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. First example is x plus 5 is greater than 12. We draw our lines either side of the inequality sign like we do with the equal sign of an equation. The first thing we want to do is to get rid of the plus 5. The inverse of that is take 5, subtract 5. So we subtract 5 from both sides. On the left hand side, this leaves us with x, and on the right hand side, 12 take away 5 is 7. The inequality sign stays the same throughout the question. So the final answer is x is greater than 7. For this next question, x minus 6 is less than or equal to 4. Again, we start by putting our lines either side of our inequality sign. To get x on its own on this side, we want to remove the subtract 6. So we do the inverse operation, which is to add 6 to both sides. This leaves us with x on the left hand side and 10 on the right hand side. And in the middle we put exactly the same inequality sign as the one in the question. So our final answer is x is less than or equal to 10. The third example is x is less than 4x is less than 16. Again, we draw our lines down the inequality sign. This time x is multiplied by the 4, so the inverse operation is to divide by 4. We do this to both sides. This leaves us with x on the left hand side and 4 on the right hand side. The final answer is x is less than 4. The next question is x divided by 2, or x over 2 is greater than 3. Again, we draw the inequalities lines around the inequality sign. This time we have x divided by 2. We want to remove the divide by 2, so we do the inverse operation, which is times by 2. We do the same to both sides. This leaves us with x on the left hand side and 6 on the right hand side. So the answer to that question is x is greater than 6. These 4 examples have all involved one step. The next 2 examples involve 2-step inequalities. So the question is 2x plus 5 is less than 9. We start off the same by drawing the lines down the inequality sign. The first thing we want to remove is the plus 5 from this side, as the 2 and the x are connected. The inverse operation to plus 5 is to take 5. We do this to both sides. This leaves us with 2x on this side and 4 on that side. The inequality sign stays the same. We now need to remove the times by 2. So we divide both sides by 2. And that leaves us with x is less than 2. Notice the inequality sign stays the same all the way through the question. In the final example, we have x divided by 4 plus 1 is greater or equal to 3. Again, draw your lines down your inequality sign. The first thing we need to do, as the x divided by 4 are kind of connected, is we need to remove the plus 1. The inverse is take 1, and we do that to both sides every time. Whatever you do to one side, you do to both sides. This will leave us with x over 4 and 2. And remember, the inequality sign stays the same. We now want to get rid of the divide by 4. So we take times by 4 and we times by 4. And that will leave us with x, keep the inequality sign the same, and 4. So our final answer is x is greater or equal to 8.